Mars colonization. First off, why do we need to colonize Mars? Give a like and comment if you know the answer. Cause Mars is the only rocket planet in the habitable zone other than Earth. So now, if you want to make a colony, you need a power source, right? But unfortunately, Mars isn't power efficient. No solar power, cause it's far from the sun compared to Earth. It's only 40% as effective on Earth, and even this weekend sunlight is often obscured for days cause of dust storms. So solar power isn't just enough, and wind energy is worthless as there is hardly an atmosphere, and geothermal energy is also worthless as Mars's interior is much too cold. Initially, nuclear technology must be the only option. Since Mars has no radioactive elements, so the nuclear fuel needs to come from Earth along with the reactor. If we do set it up, it could power a small outpost for the first few years. Unfortunately, all that energy won't be very useful if we can't breathe. Atmospheres. Mars is about half the size of Earth by diameter and has a much thinner atmosphere, with an atmospheric volume less than 1% of Earth's. The atmospheric composition is also significantly different, primarily carbon dioxide based, while Earth is rich in nitrogen and oxygen. So our habitats need to be pressurized and filled with artificial atmosphere made of nitrogen and oxygen, which comes with more problems. Corners and flat walls are the weak points, so the habitats will have rounded and smooth shapes to handle the great pressure differences between the interior and the exterior of the habitats. The airlock need to work very airtight and work perfectly every time. Without an extensive magnetosphere or a dense atmosphere, half of all radiation coming from space reaches the ground. The person on the surface of Mars would be subjected to 15 times the radiation that they would be on Earth. 3 years on Mars surface exceeds the radiation dose limits imposed on NASA astronauts for their entire career. This increases cancer risk significantly. To prevent that, we could shield our habitats with a thick layer of frozen CO2 and dry ice, which can be harvested directly from the atmosphere. Covering the dry ice with a meter of Martian regolith or the Martian soil would further increase the level of protection. Sadly, this means almost no windows. From the inside, most living spaces will be windowless tunnels, and from the outside, they will look like burial mounds. All of this will still not hold back all the radiation, but reduce it just enough to be survivable for long periods of time. It won't, however, protect anyone who ventures outside, so remote controlled robots will be used for routine work on the surface, while our crew stays inside. Staying inside is a good idea for another reason. Mars dust. It's much finer than the dust on Earth, so it could find its way into the gears of our electronics of our machines. Because it's very dry, it's electrostatically charged, sticking to everything, like spacesuits. It will be impossible to avoid carrying lots of Mars dust into our habitat and into the lungs of our crew. To make this even worse, Mars soil contains very toxic perchloride salts. Constant exposure could be deadly. This problem could be still overcome though. Spacesuits, for example, could be made in such a way that they don't never truly enter the habitat but stay attached to the outside of the base. safely isolated humans in terms of energy, air, radiation, but now we have to feed them. Water is easy to come by if the settlement is positioned near the Martian poles with a thick layer of ice. Growing food is a completely different kind of challenge too. Growing foods. Mars soil are alkaline and lacks a vital nitrogen compound that plants need to grow. Before we can grow anything, we have to decontaminate the soil, which is difficult and expensive. Then the soil can be fertilized using recycled biological waste. All of these will take a lot of time and it's very energy intensive. So we might use aquaponics to grow fish and plants together. This can be an important psychological boost for our Martian crew members. All of these things don't solve one fundamental problem though: gravity. Gravity. Mars mass is 6.42 into 1023 kilograms, about 10 times less than Earth. This affects the force of gravity. Gravity on Mars is 38% of Earth's gravity. So a 100-pound person on Earth would weigh 38 pounds on Mars. Gravity is a main problem because we humans have adapted to live in Earth gravity. So even in the ISS, astronauts have to exercise 2 to 4 hours a day. The crews will have to rotate every few years. After being stuck indoors in tight spaces without windows, like Antarctic scientists or submarine staff, they will have to undergo intense psychological screening to make sure they will be mentally resilient enough to handle the lifestyle of several years. All this can be done with very few determined and competent people can do. And we have enough people here on Earth. And there you have it, a small Mars base that will survive for at least a few decades, as long as it getting enough resources, parts, nuclear fuel, and crew from Earth. But unfortunately, Earth-Mars synchronization happens only every 2 years. So in case of an emergency, Earth wouldn't be able to help until the next synchronization. Helpers may arrive on a colony filled with corpses and tragedy already happened. This will be the first aircraft on another planet other than Earth. Mars helicopter. This is a NASA project of Mars helicopter which blade will rotate 75% of speed of sound. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share and subscribe for more videos like this. For now you can't go Mars, but stay home, stay safe from coronavirus or COVID-19. And in the meantime, watch some more interstellar videos of mine.